What's going on, guys? This is Justin here with Kentucky Kids Bounce. We're going to show you guys how we fold and roll a combo bounce house. Now this is a side entrance as well. Typically we always roll our inflatables up from the pull side. We started to roll it, then decided that we needed to level out, shift around our vinyl and material a little more to try to make this roll a little more simple. A lot of the times I'll try to square up my edges and pull everything closer to the middle. I guess it all comes down to preference. And when we are folding, we always like to fold our vent sides over last where the blowers typically go. That way we can always have air coming out as we're rolling up the inflatable. Right now we are just walking it out, trying to get out as much air as possible. It does make it easier, especially if you don't have a heavy duty dolly with a winch on it. So a lot of the times with this particular inflatable, you'll see two seams actually. So we'll fold it back. One seam's usually about right there, but we come on in a little more to that second one. Right about there. So you almost make a complete square, but it does hang out a little bit. And then from here, we usually walk on it a little more to get all the air out, or as much as you can, especially if you have the time. It makes it a lot easier again. And then from here, we typically we'll fold it over halfway. I like my inflatables to be tall and skinny. Again, that comes with preference. But around chin high, nose high, depending on your height, of course. Saves you a little more room when it comes to storage. And I feel like it's a little easier to maneuver everything around, especially if you don't have a motorized dolly and you're manually doing everything. For me, that's what I like, but you guys, feel free to do whatever. What we're going to do now is we're getting ready to fold it over halfway, and then we'll take the vent side and fold it over the opposite way. Right now we're just squaring everything up, getting our seams showing to try to get the best possible roll. I don't like any of my material to be showing when it's all said and done. Anything that's at least visible to the customers, we try to hide. So now we're folding the door side over. And you'll notice too, when you're new to the business and you're rolling brand new inflatables, they're a little tough at first. The vinyl's a little stiff, but the more and more you roll them, especially if you roll them the same way every time, you'll gradually start creating little creases as you fold and roll, and it'll make life much easier. Now, I'll show how we set everything up later, but we always put straps underneath our inflatables, whether we're using the winch system or not. If you don't have a winch, that's fine. We try to center up our straps. You can put one or two under. On this one, we have two straps under. It makes the roll much easier, and it allows you to kind of pull the inflatable rather than pushing it. Because when wet season comes around, these things can get very heavy if they do get water inside of them. So right now, we're just, again, getting out as much air as possible. And then we will come down here and getting ready to start the roll. Now it's important to start the roll as tight as you possibly can to get a good roll. So right now Britton has both straps in his hand. I'm headed to the dolly to get the winch ready. If you don't have a dolly with a winch and you plan on staying in this business for a while, I highly recommend looking into one. They slow you down a little bit, but you only get one back. and they really, really save your back in the long run. It makes this job so much easier, and a lot of the times, customers love seeing dollies like that. They come out and ask questions, and they really enjoy just watching how we do everything. So that makes it fun as well. And if you have one, you got your straps. You can take your hooks through the loopholes, and you get a little remote with them, or you can manually do it as well. We'll explain more about the dolly later, but from here, we are getting the roll started as tight as we can before we start really using the winch. I usually like to get a small roll on it, or a good little start, and then we'll start winching everything up. And don't worry, you'll never get a roll as tight as you will with a winch by hand. I'm sorry, but you just won't. If you can, please let me know how in the comments. Now, there's a couple different ways you can go about it, but as you can see, Britton, so we've got the straps ready, we've got them hooked up, and as we start rolling, he will be putting his body weight on the roll itself to release air. Sometimes you can stand on the inside of it near the straps and walk it out as you're rolling to release as much air as possible. This really makes a big difference as well, because you don't want a huge inflatable that's really big and wide, and they're very hard to move around. I think this particular inflatable, it is from Jump Orange. I believe it weighs around 250, maybe closer to 300. I don't believe it's much more than 300 at most. I could be wrong. Yeah, you can kind of see Britton. He's just putting some weight on it, pressing down on it. When you're rolling these things too, it's important to keep an eye on your ends. So you want everything to roll up as square and as straight as possible. You don't want to start rolling too far left or too far right, or letting one side get too far ahead of the other, because you'll end up with a terrible roll. You always do. And you probably won't get it perfect the first time, and you may not ever get it perfect. But you will learn. So we do have 2 straps under this one. It's a little slower. It's early in the season. Just wanted to kind of test out how these straps work. Ideally, we always do 2 straps on the big slides, just because they're so much heavier. We're about halfway through now, adjusting our straps a little bit. One loosened up on us. And now another thing that we like to do is, may not be able to see it very well in this video. So once we get closer to the end, let's say we got like 2 foot of our bounce house to roll up. We're pretty much 80% done with it. We like to fold the ends in a little bit. Just a little bit. You can take the very end and just kind of fold it in about a foot or so, and then roll your slide on over it. It just seems like, to me, it gives it a cleaner look. You won't have any of your material showing that the customers actually see. So if it rubs up against something, or if you accidentally drop it, maybe into some mud or something, it'll just save you cleaning later. I say this, why? Because, well, it's happened to me more than once. Try to avoid unnecessary cleaning if we can, of course. But yeah, at this point, we're pretty much done. We'll finish up our roll. We got our lashing straps underneath. We'll tighten it up, and we will head on our way. Sorry about the video, guys. I tried to record this, and I was speaking a lot, but it ended up being a very windy day, and I didn't have my mic set up right, and it was a disaster. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you guys. If there's anything that we could do differently or whatever it may be, please let me know. We're going on our second year in the business, so I'm still learning myself. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention. We like to put marks on these particular bounce houses, and our mark, we'll label it door, and we'll face the arrow kind of towards which side the door's on. Why? Because you may get out somewhere and you want it to set one way, you'll roll it out, and it'll be facing the complete opposite way. So that really hurts, especially if you're by yourself. You're going to have to spin it around by yourself. It can be very heavy. It can be frustrating. And trust me, it's nice when you can just come out, roll it out, know exactly what's going to be where. It's professional, and you just save a lot of energy. You don't want to burn your energy, especially when you're dropping off 4 or 5, maybe 6 a day. You want to be as efficient as possible, but I really appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. If I missed anything, let me know. If there's anything you'd like to see more of, let me know. Thank you.